Paradox of creation. Your future isn't waiting for you. It's remembering you let that sink in. Because what if everything you've been taught about manifestation is reversed? You've been told to move toward your dreams, to visualize, to chase, to climb. But what if the truth is the moment you desired it, your dream began moving toward you? Picture this. You stand on a shoreline watching waves roll in. Each one seems to come from some distant horizon. But in truth, that wave began forming the moment you imagined it. Every thought you send forward is already folding back, carrying the memory of your fulfilled self, hidden within its current. This is the paradox of creation. Nothing you seek is outside you. Every possible reality already exists. And manifestation isn't about making something appear. It's about remembering which version of yourself you already are. You're not the creator pushing energy into form. You're the receiver, aligning your frequency to the timeline, where it already exists when you finally stop forcing. Stop asking, stop trying to become. You begin to remember, and that memory is magnetic. It collapses distance, it bends time. The universe doesn't need your effort, it needs your remembrance. Because what's meant for you isn't running away. It's orbiting closer, every time you let go of needing it. So pause for a moment, breathe. The future you've been chasing isn't out there. It's right here, whispering softly through your intuition, pulling you backward through time, to the moment where it already came true. And if you can feel that truth even for a second, you've already begun to reverse the flow. Chapter 2. Time doesn't flow. It loops. Time. We're taught to see it like a river flowing endlessly, forward, never backward. But the quantum world whispers a different truth. That time doesn't flow, it folds. It loops. In the invisible architecture of reality, every moment exists simultaneously, past, present, and future, not separate chapters, but overlapping notes in one infinite song. Quantum physics calls it superposition, particles existing in multiple states until observed, but what they don't tell you is this: you are that observer. And the moment you choose a vibration, a belief, a vision, a feeling, you collapse infinite timelines into one. You're not walking toward the future. You're selecting it from the now. Experiments show something extraordinary. Particles can be influenced by events that haven't even happened yet. A future choice can ripple backward and change the outcome of the past. This is retrocausality, and it means your future isn't something waiting ahead. It's a living force, reaching back through the quantum field to shape your now. So perhaps that's why you feel sudden intuition, why you dream of something before it happens, why coincidences line up like breadcrumbs on a path you haven't walked yet. It's not luck, it's not chance. It's your future self, whispering through the fabric of space-time, sending signals through emotion, memory, déjà vu, and alignment. So, when you feel drawn to something for no logical reason, pay attention. That pull isn't fantasy. It's physics. Your destiny is calling in reverse. You're not the traveler, you're the receiver of echoes. You're not creating the future. You're remembering the path your soul already chose. Because in this looping universe, the moment you decide what you desire, that future begins to exist. And from that instant on, every heartbeat, every decision, every delay, is the future guiding you backward into itself? So perhaps the real secret to manifestation isn't in chasing the future, but in listening to the whisper of the timeline that's already remembering you. Chapter 3. Why most manifestations fail. So if reality is looping, if the future is already reaching back towards you, why does it still feel like nothing is happening? Why do your affirmations echo into silence? Why does your vision board collect dust while your life stays the same? Because most people are trying to manifest forward They're pushing energy out, trying to make reality bend, without realizing that every push declares one truth to the universe: I don't have it yet. And the quantum field doesn't respond to your words. It responds to your state. It mirrors your vibration. So when you visualize from lack, you amplify lack. When you affirm from emptiness, you echo emptiness. You say, I want abundance, but your nervous system whispers. I'm in scarcity. You say, I want love, but your energy hums. I am alone. You say, I want peace, but your thoughts loop in chaos. The signal is scrambled, and the universe, being the perfect mirror it is, returns to you the frequency you are most certain of. Imagine standing in front of a mirror, begging your reflection to smile first. You'd wait forever. The mirror doesn't respond to hope. It responds to being. That's why manifestation often feels like walking through fog. You reach, you grasp, but the moment you try to control it, it slips away, because the act of trying implies distance. And distance is the illusion that keeps you separate from what's already yours. You can't create forward from emptiness. You can only remember backward from fullness. The key isn't to want more, but to feel more now. To tune your internal radio to the signal of already done. You see, when your energy is desperate, your field vibrates like static, chaotic, uncertain, fragmented. But when your energy relaxes, when you release and rest in the knowing that it's already unfolding, your vibration becomes coherent. And coherence is what bends reality. So perhaps it's not that your manifestations failed. It's that your energy kept telling the universe, I'm still waiting. And the universe, perfectly faithful, infinitely literal, simply agreed. But the moment you stop pushing, the instant you drop into alignment and remember that what you want already exists, that's when the mirror shifts. That's when the river starts to flow backward. And everything you thought you were chasing turns around and begins chasing you. Chapter 4: The Backward Flow of Reality. You've been taught that life moves forward, that the future lies ahead, and the past sits behind you. But in the language of the quantum, that's not entirely true. Reality doesn't flow from beginning to end. It flows from completion to revelation, from the end backward into the now. Everything you're meant to experience already exists, suspended in the field of infinite potential, like stars in the night sky, each one a timeline waiting to be observed. The moment you imagine something, truly feel it, you send a frequency into that field. And that frequency doesn't travel forward, it travels backward, rippling through time, collapsing the pathway that leads to its fulfillment. The future doesn't happen later, it happens first, and your present rearranges itself to match it. Imagine watching a film in reverse. You see the hero standing victorious in the final scene, and then frame by frame everything rewinds itself to create the perfect chain of events leading there. That's how manifestation actually unfolds. The ending already exists. Your desire already realized. And every moment in between is simply reality, working backward to deliver it. When you align your emotion, belief, and identity with that final scene, you tune into its frequency, and through that resonance, reality begins its reverse construction. This is why it's called quantum collapse. Consciousness doesn't follow time, it commands it. It bends cause and effect until they meet, in one singular moment called now. Neuroscience confirms it when you visualize vividly. Your brain lights up the same regions, as if it's already happening. Your body doesn't wait for the event. It becomes the event, your biology. Time travels into the frequency of the future, and once your cells remember that state, they begin signaling to the field, match this. Our world starts reorganizing. In response to that inner coherence, new ideas arrive by coincidence. People appear out of nowhere. Synchronicities unfold like dominoes falling in reverse. But here's the beauty: you don't have to chase the steps. You just have to live the ending. To walk as the version of you that's already there. Because when you live from completion, the universe reassembles itself to support the memory of that truth. Every delay becomes divine timing. Every mistake becomes part of the choreography. That leads perfectly back to your destined point. You are not becoming your future self. Your future self is remembering you into being. So stop trying to move forward. Close your eyes. Step backward into the vibration of your unseen. Feel the echo of it, the softness, the familiarity. That is an imagination that's memory. And the moment you remember it deeply enough, the backward flow begins, and the rest of reality has no choice but to follow. Chapter 5: The Quantum Flip. Becoming the observer. At some point, you realize the harder you try to control reality, the more it slips through your fingers. That's because manifestation doesn't respond to force. It responds to observation. The quantum field doesn't ask you to do more. It asks you to see differently. In quantum physics, particles exist in infinite possibilities until someone observes them. And that simple act of awareness decides which reality appears. You are that observer. Your consciousness is the lens that collapses the infinite into the visible. So the real secret isn't in chasing the outcome. It's in becoming the one who can see it as already done. This is the quantum flip. It's the shift from trying to attract to simply observing from completion. You stop asking when will it happen, and start whispering it's already unfolding. You stop speaking from hope, and start speaking from remembrance. Because when you see your world through the eyes of your fulfilled self, you no longer send mixed signals into the field. You broadcast one clear vibration, the vibration of done. And the universe, which is nothing more than a giant mirror of consciousness, reflects it flawlessly. Think of a radio. You don't force the signal to appear. You tune into the right frequency. And when the dial aligns perfectly, the music that was always there becomes audible. That's how manifestation works. You don't summon, you synchronize. Neuroscience calls this coherence. When your mind and heart align, when thought and emotion hum at the same frequency, your electromagnetic field becomes stable. And stability is power. It's the still point where reality listens. So how do you embody this state? You start small. You wake up and ask, how would my fulfilled self move today? What would they notice? How would they breathe? Speak and feel. Each answer rewires your brain, creating new neural pathways, new emotional codes, new evidence for the body to believe. And belief is the bridge between worlds. When your belief stops waiting, your reality stops delaying. That's the quantum flip. When you cease reaching for your future, and your future begins to unfold through you. So stop trying to make waves in the quantum sea. Be still, watch. Feel, because the moment you see from completion, the universe bends itself to meet your gaze. Chapter 6: The Mirror Timeline. reflecting from the future. Imagine standing in front of a mirror. You lift your hand and the reflection moves with you. Perfectly synchronized, but here's the mystery. What if you're not the one moving first? What if the reflection, your future self, is guiding your hand instead? This is the paradox of the mirror timeline. In quantum manifestation, your future reality isn't something far away. It's a vibration that already exists, watching you from beyond the veil of linear time. Every version of you, the broke one, the healed one, the abundant one, the enlightened one, all exist simultaneously in superposition. Each is waiting for your observation to bring it into focus. So when you imagine your future self, you're not creating fantasy. You're tuning into a real, existing frequency, a parallel timeline, vibrating at a slightly higher coherence. The moment you feel that version of yourself as vividly as your current circumstances, the bridge between timelines begins to dissolve, and the two realities, your present and your desired, start to merge. That's why quantum manifestation feels like remembering something, not discovering it, because your soul has already lived it. You're just aligning your human perspective with what your quantum self already knows. But here's where most people go wrong. They keep reacting to the mirror. They wait for the reflection to smile. Before they do, they wait for proof, for signs, for validation, not realizing that the reflection can't move until you do. Reality doesn't show you who you want to be. It shows you who you believe you are. Change the signal and the mirror changes instantly. This is why gratitude and visualization are powerful. They are codes that shift your emotional frequency, bringing your current self into resonance with your future self. Each time you visualize with emotion, you're sending ripples into the quantum field, signaling your future to reach back and guide you. And if you listen carefully, you'll start to feel it, the synchronicities, the unexpected alignments, the sudden peace in moments that used to trigger you. That's not coincidence. That's your future self whispering, "You're almost here, so stop chasing what's already yours." Start acting from the memory of its completion. When you feel abundance before it arrives because you feel it. This is the mirror timeline. Not a distant dream, but a reflection of the reality you've already chosen. And the more you honor that reflection, the clearer it becomes, until one day, you look around and realize you're living inside the mirror. Chapter 7. Collapse the distance. Living as the field. There comes a moment in this journey where you stop searching for alignment, because you become alignment itself. It's subtle at first, a quiet knowing that replaces your need to chase. You begin to notice that the things you once begged for now orbit you naturally, as if the universe finally exhaled and said, "Welcome back." This is what it means to collapse the distance. The gap between you and your desire was never made of time, it was made of separation. And separation was never real. Quantum physics has whispered this truth for decades. The observer and the observed are entangled. You are not in the field, you are the field. Every thought, every heartbeat, every emotion is a pulse within the fabric of creation itself. When you stop viewing the universe as something out there and begin to sense it as a living extension of your consciousness, the walls between you and everything you've ever wanted simply dissolve. This is not philosophy, it's frequency. When your heart's electromagnetic field resonates with gratitude, pure, coherent, unforced, it radiates measurable waves that can influence physical matter. That's not magic, that's physics. The field responds to the signal of coherence, not desperation. So when you feel whole now, you command reality to rearrange around that wholeness. And suddenly manifestation isn't a practice anymore. It's a side effect of being awake. Because once you live as the field, you stop trying to bend reality, and reality starts bending to you. This is what the mystics called becoming the prayer. It's what the sages meant when they said, "The kingdom of heaven is within." When your inner world harmonizes with your outer world, time collapses. You step out of waiting and into remembering. You realize that the future you were chasing has been walking beside you all along, just waiting for you to match its frequency. And in that moment, the space between now and someday disappears. You feel the universe breathing through you, co-creating each moment like a living symphony. You become less interested in controlling outcomes, and more in tuning your state. Less focused on asking, more devoted to being. Because once you collapse the distance, you no longer manifest, you embody. You're no longer the one sending the signal. You're the signal itself. You're no longer observing the field. You are the field, awake, alive, infinite. And from that space of total coherence, life unfolds effortlessly. Not because you've mastered the universe, but because you've remembered you were never separate from it.